What's up guys, Ben Milliken here, back for Mystery Tackle Box. I'm super jacked up today, not only because there's this sexy lake behind us we're about to go fish, and I got the boat and truck all hooked up, ready to go, but because I got my Mystery Tackle Box Pro Box for the month of June. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys the baits I received in this box, and hopefully we're gonna go out and stick some big old slaunches on it. You ready for this? Let's go. Okay, before we get started, let's have a little look-see, see what we got here in our Mystery Tackle Box for June. Looks like we got a bunch of good high-quality baits. Got a Lucky Craft Gunfish topwater bait, Ketchco Flippin' Jig, that's a Mystery Tackle Box exclusive right there. We got some Sluggos, some Lunker City Sluggos. That looks like it's gonna be pretty good in this, this clean water. I'll show you guys how I like to fish those. Some shimmer shads from Ketchco as well. Once again, clean water, drop shot potentially. Hopefully these guys are gonna be an absolute killer. Oh, we got a swim bait. I love swim bait fishing. This is just a little guy, but little ones can be good just like big ones. So we got a little swim bait there from Optimum. Real nice natural color there. Got a bottom bait right here, a tube bait, Northland. Looks like it is the Mimic Minnow Tough Tube, so it comes pre-rigged, got eyeballs on and stuff. Never seen these before, but look really cool. And then some Liquid Mayhem. I know this is a really good scent. I never actually had a chance to use this before, but a lot of people like this. What flavor do we got? Shad scent. Perfect. We'll rub this all over everything we use today. But let's get to fishing, see how these baits work. All right, so just got out here on the water. As you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell how clean it is, but this water is super clean, and there is a ton of grass from the bank all the way out into the lake. So I rigged up my 3 favorite baits that'll cover all different levels of the water column. We can fish a little bit differently in this type of cover. I know a lot of you guys here in June, you probably do have a ton of grass at your lake, so this is some techniques you guys can apply to this. This is the first one we're gonna start with right here. This is that little Sluggo bait. I'm fishing it on a spinning reel. Let me show you guys how I like to fish this around grass stuff like this cover right here. All right, so I rigged this Sluggo up on a 3/0 straight shank hook, just Texas rigged, and I got it on a braid, 10-pound braid, 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, about a 6-foot leader. And it's really simple to work this bait. It's almost like a Senko. Basically, all we're gonna do, we're gonna throw it out on this grass line right here, and the way you're gonna work it is basically let it sink down a couple feet, couple inches, however you wanna do it. And this is a really good technique for clean water, especially around grass like this. But once it gets down there, you're just gonna twitch the rod tip, just twitch, just really quick twitches, just depending on how the mood of the fish is. We got really clear, no clouds in the sky, no wind, sunny today, so I think the fish's mood's gonna be a little bit slower. So I'm gonna let that sink down, not work it with as many twitches. But if you got clouds, if you got a bunch of active fish, it's always good to twitch, really work that bait really quick. Even having it come up out of the water, you can catch a lot of fish like that sometimes. The thing I really like about the Sluggo is how weedless it is. Really any weedless Texas rig stick bait. Because I get people ask me all the time, they're like, you know, in the summer I bank fish or we boat fish, whatever, and all these lakes we fish have so much grass and matted vegetation. How can I fish that? Well, this is a way you can effectively fish the outside of it. You know, if you pull that weedless bait up on top, ooh, I thought I had a bite there. I think I did actually. See the swirl. But anyways, if you pull it up and you're pulling that through the matted vegetation, you get to a hole, let that thing drop down there. This thing sinks so naturally and seductively. This fish seriously can't resist it. And it's not a bait you're probably gonna catch like an 8 or 10 pounder on. I've seen it happen before. Stick baits catch big fish, but it's a bait that's really natural, and you're gonna get a ton of bites on. It's a great bait for kids to start out on, and most importantly, it's a really effective way to fish this really heavy matted vegetation on the outside edges of it this time of year, when the water's clean especially. All right, so next bait in the box we're gonna talk about and throw today on this grassy weed line, really clean water and stuff, is this Optimum Swim bait. This is a cool little swim bait. It's only like 3.5 inches long. Not a big one, but it matches the size of a lot of these bluegill, crappie, stuff like that that's in the lake right now. And it gives it a lot better way to cover that middle column of the water column. And really good thing about the swim bait, when it's pre-rigged like this, it's got a hook in it. You can work it from a couple feet under the surface, or you can let it sink down and work it way down by the bottom. My favorite way to fish it though, by far, is definitely to let it go down like 4 or 5 feet, probably about midway down on the grass lines, and just kind of slow reel it past that stuff. It's gonna have that nice natural kicking swim bait action. And when you pull it by some ambush points, even on days like today, where it's slick, calm, it's sunny, and the fish don't seem very active, they don't see a lot of swim baits still in a lot of parts of the country, and so these little guys can really get the job done. You know, another good thing about using a swim bait like this, you know, the giant swim baits have got really popular on the market. And I've been throwing them a ton lately in my videos, and I've caught a lot of good fish on them. But the problem with the big swim baits is you got to go buy very specific, upgraded, heavier tackle. You got to go buy a new rod and reel and everything to throw them. Well, this is good because, you know, it's like a 1/2 ounce bait. You can throw this thing on any type of medium heavy rod. I like a 7'3" medium heavy rod. But really, you could throw it on your flipping stick. You could throw it on like a 7-foot medium if you had to. You got an exposed hook, and so those fish, you're not gonna have to rip through a bunch of plastic or give a big jig hook set or anything like that. I do like to lean into them pretty good, but you don't have to go buy specialized equipment to throw this thing, which is really nice. And you know, if I give you guys a tip about anything, this is how I always fish my top hook swim baits. Is I'll reel them along, and we'll have a nice, steady, natural retrieve. And then I'll stop it and twitch it. And so that's gonna do two things. That bait, when I stop it, it's gonna fall for a second. And when I twitch it, it's gonna really pop it forward and make that tail kick really quick. And so a lot of times these bass just follow that swim bait. They love to look at the swim baits. They're natural baits. And if you throw one past a bass's face, he's gonna have to go at least inspect it. And so if you throw that little bit of slack in the line and then twitch it, it's gonna make that fish react a lot of times. And that's when you can usually get a lot of your bites. All right, so final bait we're gonna talk about today for fishing this clean water and grass and everything is this Northland Tough Tube, this pre-rigged tube that I got in my box. And a lot of people might look at this grass and say, well, how are you gonna fish that exposed hook through the grass? You're gonna need to do a Texas rig or something like that. It's totally true if you wanna get through the grass. But the thing is with this, you don't wanna get through the grass. So we're just gonna cast it out there and make a long bomb cast right onto that grass edge. You're gonna let it sink down to the bottom, and this is a great way to cover that lower level to the middle column of the water column. And so you're gonna let it sink down there in the grass, and it's gonna be bogged up, and you're just gonna rip it free like that. Same deal with a rattle trap or a lipless bait or a chatterbait in the spring. You're trying to rip it up and cause that reaction strike. And the cool thing about the tube is it's gonna pop up out of there really hard, and then it's gonna spiral on the way down when it's pre-rigged like this. And that spiraling action, after you rip it free from that grass, is gonna cause fish to lash out. You're gonna get a lot of bites, even on days like today where, you know, it's high skies, slick calm, you don't got a lot of wind. Great way to catch some more fish. You know, obviously if you're fishing rockier cover, stuff like that, you don't have any grass to rip this dude out of. Always good to fish a tube, you know, naturally, let it drag on the bottom. That's how I fish it all spring, all winter in the cold water months. Or whenever I go to like an Ozarks, like a supernatural highland impoundment, just throw it on those secondary points, you know, on the rock and everything, dragging it around, but not out here. So this is summer, grass, let that guy get bogged up in it, pop it, rip it up free, ba-boom! You're gonna get big bites doing that. Whew, just got off the water. It's about 95 degrees today. It is a hot one, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned a couple things that'll help you catch some fish in situations that are like this. Slick, calm, super hot, muggy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure, go subscribe to Mystery Tackle Box, drop a thumbs up, and comment down below what you want to see moving forward. I'll catch you guys very, very soon. I'm out of here. Peace!